Well, hello, my algebra. I don't know if I'll get this up by 7 or not. My internet is running very slowly. But anyways, I wanted to just go over all the different laws. So I wrote down 10 problems here. We'll go through them. The first one, I have a product of a product. Now, if you remember, that's called a monomial. It's a product of variables and numbers, so it's monomial, single term. So I multiply the numbers, the coefficients. 3 times 4 is 12. Then when you multiply two things, they base you add the exponents. So this would be x to the 13th, y to the 18th. 8 plus 10 is 18. I have a product raised to a power, so I raise both to that power, so it'd be x to the 60, y to the 80. Whenever you have a base to a power, then another power, you multiply the powers. For example, the next problem. Base to a power to another power, multiply the powers, so that'd be x to the 18th times x to the 4th, and then raised to the 10th would be x to the 40th. And if you remember the first law, when you multiply two things same base, you add the powers. Oop. Okay, when you're dividing, you reduce the coefficients. So one number goes into 20 and 30, and that's 10. And I'm getting tired of this pen. And when you divide two things same base, you subtract the powers. So 6 of these cancel 6 of these, so it'd be 4 of them left over. 7 of these cancel 7 of these, you'd still have a y left over. Now, when you have a product to a power, you raise both to this power, and when you have a base to a power, you multiply, so it's x to the negative 21, y to the negative 10 times negative 3 is 30. And oh, what do you do when you have a negative power? That's right. You've got to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. Yeah. So the negative, this one has to go down. This one stays alone, stays there because it's positive. So it's y to the 30th over x to the 21. Now, personally, when I have a bunch of negatives in the problem, I like to move them. Don't have to. A lot of ways to do it. But this one would move down. This one doesn't move because it's positive power. This one moves on up. This one doesn't move. And when they're on the same level, both in the top, you multiply. You add the powers. So it'd be y to the 16th, x to the 14th. So when you have a base to a power, then you raise another power, you multiply, so it's x to the negative 18. But wait a minute, when you have a negative power, you have to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Wonder what movie that's from. Something where they like to move it. Now, if you remember, zero power means change it to the number 1. Now, the only thing you cannot raise to the 0 power is 0. But other than 0, anything 0 power is number 1, and 1 times anything is anything. When you multiply two things same base, you add the powers. Oh, I have a fraction squared, so I just square both terms. That'd be 1 over 16. Hey, and when I multiply two things same base, I add the powers. So I just wanted to do a quick video to review the laws in case you forgot them on the way home from your school in the mighty windstorm. Oh no, we have a 3-day weekend. What should I do? Bye-bye.